Okay, guys. You know the state testing's coming up, and there's a lot of information that y'all got to review. Well, one of the things that Miss Start was talking about was author's purpose. I know that all of y'all have gone over author's purpose, but we're kind of going to review it just a little bit, and I'm going to read a story, and we're going to talk about it, okay? All right. So, to start, your favorite vocabulary.
We got 3 reasons. Let's go. Author's right. I wonder why. It's to persuade, inform, or entertain. That's why. Yeah, every time I write a refrain, it's to persuade, inform, or entertain. It's pie, but I'll start with the I. I is for inform. That's when the authors try to inform you or give you information. They explain or describe a situation or a thing. Like polar bears live in the north, in the Arctic, the coldest spot on earth. Their big fur coat keeps them all warm. They swim, eat fish, and they're super strong. Why did the author write all of that? Why? To tell us about polar bears. It was full of facts. The author's purpose was to inform. I wish I had a polar bear of my own.
Author's right, yeah, I wonder why. It's to persuade, inform, or entertain. That's pie. Yeah, every time I write a refrain, it's to persuade, inform, or entertain. B is for persuade. Yes, that's what authors do. When they have an opinion, they want you to have it too. Like visiting the ocean's more fun than a lake because it's bigger, and there are way more ways. The author didn't just inform us about the sea. She has an opinion. She wants us to agree. When she said that the ocean's more fun, that's not a fact. That's an opinion. She wanted to persuade us or convince us. Like this. Why you should buy me 20 toys for Christmas. What else persuades? Ads like this. They want to convince you to buy that drink. Ads, essays, billboards, and editorials all try to persuade. Yes, it's unavoidable. Pieces that persuade often inform too with the decision to agree. It's up to you.
Author's right, yeah, I wonder why. It's to persuade, inform, and entertain. That's pie. Yeah, every time I write a refrain, it's to persuade, inform, or entertain. Okay, he is entertained. If something's entertaining, then it's fun to read. It's engaging, and it goes stories, jokes, anecdotes, fiction tales. Yeah, you know, cartoons, comics, fantasy, most movies and the TV shows. The purpose is to make you watch or read. Like Sam woke up and saw his bird 6 feet. Was his mom even gonna know it was him? All the kids in school will think that he's an alien. The author wrote that to entertain. It's pretty clear to me he made up the whole thing. Now some authors try to do more than one. Like I can tell you ocean facts in a way that's fun. And I can try to make you like the ocean too. I informed, entertained, and persuaded you. So most authors focus mostly on one. Now I'm feeling full cause the pie is done.
Author's purpose, I'm not talking pet dolphin. Purpose is the reason that you're writing, make it awesome. Author's purpose, I'm not talking pet dolphin. Purpose is the reason that you're writing, make it awesome.
Okay. So, someone tell me by raising their hand, what is author's purpose? Jack, what's author's purpose?
Pie, which is persuade, inform, and entertain.
Persuade, inform, and entertain. So when you are writing your essays for your leak test, what is something that you want to remember when you're writing? Ellen?
Pie.
Pie. And pie is?
Persuade, inform, and entertain.
Good. Okay. I am going to read a story to you, and believe it or not, I didn't realize this when Miss Dart recommended this story, but you just did an assignment. Your mentor sentence that you did a couple of weeks ago is based on this book. So I want to see, I'm going to ask you some questions as we go, and I want to see if you remember from your mentor sentence where it's at in this book, okay? So, fly away home. Y'all take just a second second and look at the cover of that story. Look at the cover of the book. What can you tell about the characters based on the illustration of the cover of this book? What can you tell? Tanner, what can you tell?
They probably moved from their old house and trying to find another place, but they're probably snowed in.
You think they're snowed in? Okay. So you think they're moving and maybe they're snowed in? Okay, Abigail, what do you think?
I think that maybe I was going to say that they're probably poor.
You think maybe they're poor? Look at their faces. Can y'all look at their faces? How do you think they feel? Daniel, how do you think they feel?
Sad.
You think maybe they feel sad? Okay. Ava?
I think they probably feel like angry.
You think maybe angry? Okay. Well, I'm going to read, and I'm going to stop and ask questions as we go. So let's listen, and I want you to think about author's purpose. And tell me again, one more time, what is PIE?
Persuade, inform, entertain.
Good. All right. My dad and I live in an airport. That's because we don't have a home. And the airport is better than the streets. We are careful not to get caught. Mr. Solom and Mr. Val were caught last night. 10 green bottles hanging on the wall, they sang. They were as loud as 2 moose bellowing. Dad says they broke the first rule of living here. Don't get noticed. Dad and I try not to get noticed. We stay among the crowds. We change airlines. So what's their first rule?
Don't get noticed.
Don't get noticed. Delta, TWA, Northwest, we love them all, Dad says. He and I wear blue jeans and a blue t-shirt and blue jackets. We each have a blue zippered bag with a change of blue clothes. Not to be noticed is to look like nobody at all. Once we saw a woman pushing a metal cart full of stuff. She wore a long, dirty coat, and she lays down across a row of seats in front of Continental Gate 6. The cart, the dirty coat, and the laying down were all noticeable. Security moved her out real fast. Was she noticeable?
Yes.
Yeah. Dad and I sleep sitting up. We use different airport areas. Where are we tonight, I ask. Dad checks his notebook. Alaska Air, he says, over in the other terminal. That's okay. We like to walk. We know some of the airport regulars by name and by sight. There's Idaho Joe and Annie Franny and Mars Man. But we don't sit together. Sitting together will get you noticed faster than anything, Dad says. Again, they're trying not to be noticed. Everything in the airport is on the move. Passengers, pilots, flight attendants, cleaners with their brooms. Jets roar in close to the windows. Other jets roar out. Luggage bounces down chutes. Escalators glide up and down, disappearing under floors. Everyone's going somewhere. except Dad and me. We stay. So the boy's mentioning that everything in the airport moves. He states that everyone's going somewhere except Dad and me. What can you tell about the boy with that statement? What can you tell? Bree, what can you tell?
I think he's kind of sad that they live in the airport.
You think maybe they're kind of sad? He's kind of sad that they live in the airport. Everybody else is getting to go somewhere, but he's not, is he? Okay, Luke, what do you think?
I think they're sort of like bored that they're like staying in the same place and they don't get to go anywhere.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. Jacob, what do you think?
I think, I think it was Bree that she said that they're sad. I agree with her.
You agree? Okay. Once a little brown bird got into the main terminal and couldn't get out. It fluttered in the high, hollow spaces. It threw itself against the glass and perched there. It flew itself against the glass, fell panting to the floor, flew to a tall metal girder, and perched there exhausted. Don't stop trying, I told it silently. Don't. You can get out. For days, the bird flew around, dragging one wing. And then it found the instant when a sliding door was open and slipped through. I watched it rise. The wings seemed okay. Fly, bird, I whispered. Fly away home. Though I couldn't hear it, I knew it was singing. Nothing made me as happy as that bird. Why was the boy so happy to see the bird fly away home? Jordan, what do you think?
Because he knows the bird's going home, so he thinks that he might be able to go home.
Yeah. Ellen, did you have your hand raised? What do you think?
I agree with Jordan.
You agree with Jordan?
I think the boy thinks that he kind of has a family and that he needs to go spend time with them.
Okay. Let's see what else. The airport's busy and noisy even at night. Dad and I sleep anyway. When it gets quiet between 2 and 4 a.m., we wake up. Dead time, Dad says. Almost no flights coming in or going out. At dead time, there aren't many people around, so we're extra careful. In the mornings, Dad and I wash up in one of the bathrooms, and he shaves. The bathrooms are crowded, no matter how early, and that's the way we like it. Strangers talk to strangers. Where'd you get in from? 3 hours, our flight was delayed. Man, I'm bushed. Dad and I, we don't talk to anyone. What do you think the meaning of bushed is? What do you think the meaning of bushed is? Riley. Not Riley, Reagan.
Tired?
Tired. Good job. Okay. So the boy and his father clean up in the mornings in the bathrooms when they're crowded. How does that support the rule of not getting noticed? What do you think, Darcy?
Since there's a whole bunch of other people and they're getting ready to fly and getting in from flights, they are kind of in with everyone, so they won't get noticed.
They're kind of blending in, huh? So that they're not noticed. Good. Ava, did you have something you wanted to add? Or do you agree? Or Abigail?
I had the same thing last week.
Yeah. We buy donuts and milk for breakfast at one of the cafeterias. standing in line with our red trays. Sometimes Dad gets me a carton of juice. On the weekend, Dad takes the bus to work. He's a janitor in an office in the city. The bus fares, $1 each way. On those days, Mrs. Medea looks out for me. The Medinas live in the airport too. Grandma, Mrs. Medina, and Denny, who's my friend. He and I collect rented luggage carts that people have left outside and return them for 50 cents each. If the crowds are big and safe, we offer to carry bags. Get this one for you, lady. It looks heavy. Or, can I call you a cab? Denny's real good at calling cabs. That's because he's 7 already. Some passengers don't tip. Then Denny whispers, stingy. But he didn't whisper too loud. The Medinas understand that it's dangerous to be noticed. So Denny, who's the boy's friend, whispers stingy when some of the passengers don't tip them. Why does he whisper? Nick, why do you think he whispered?
Because they don't hear him.
So that they don't hear him. Yeah, again, so that he doesn't get noticed, huh? Okay. Does anybody, I saw a few hands start to raise and a few smiles. Did somebody hear our mentor sentence? Y'all all did, didn't you? Good. So, it said, he and I collect rented luggage carts that people left outside and return them for 50 cents each. That was our mentor sentence, wasn't it? Yeah. Pretty neat, huh? When Dad comes home from work, he buys hamburgers for us and the Medinas. That's to pay them for watching me. If Denny and I've had a good day, we treat for pie. But I've stopped doing that. I save my money in my shoe. Will we ever have our own apartment again? I asked Dad. I'd like to be the way it was before Mom died. Maybe we will, he says. If I can find more work, if we can save money. He rubs my head. It's nice right here though, isn't it, Andrew? It's warm, it's safe, and the price is right. So, what could we infer about the boy when we read that he has stopped spending and is now saving his money? Why might he be changing at this point in the story? What do you think?
Because he's old enough to start saving money.
He's old enough to start saving money?
He wants to get an apartment.
He wants to get an apartment. Yeah. Reagan?
He might be saving up. He might be saving up so he can help his dad pay for the apartment.
Yeah, maybe. Luke, did you have something you wanted to add?
Oh, I have the same thing as Reagan.
Yeah, okay. So now he is wanting to save his money instead of spending it on the pie, huh? Do you think an apartment is more important than pie?
Yeah.
But I know he's trying all the time to find us a place. He takes newspapers from the trash baskets and makes pencil circles around letters and numbers. Then he goes to the phones. When he comes back, he looks sad and angry. I know he's been calling about an apartment. I know the rent's too high for us. I'm saving money too, I tell him. And I lift one foot and point to my shoe. Dad smiles. Attaboy. If we get a place, you and your dad can come live with us, Denny says. And if we get a place, you and your mom and your grandma can come live with us, I say. Yeah, we shake on it. That's going to be so great. After next summer, Dad says I have to start school. How? I ask. I don't know, but it's important. We'll work it out. Denny's mom says he can wait for a while, but Dad says I can't wait. Sometimes I watch people meeting people. We missed you. It's so good to be home. Sometimes I get mad and I want to run at them and push them and shout, "Why do you have homes when we don't? What makes you so special?" That would get us noticed, all right. Sometimes I just want to cry. I think Dad and I will be here forever. The boy watches people meeting people and he gets mad and he wishes he could push and shout. What does that tell you about how he's feeling? Nick, what's that tell you about how this boy's feeling? He's mad. Do you think he's just mad?
Because he's sad because he doesn't have a home.
Yeah. So you think he's sad and mad, huh? Okay. Luke, what do you think?
I think he's like angry and like he's feeling like stressed out that like they're talking about how they have homes and they're missed home even though he doesn't even have a home anymore and he thinks he won't even get one anymore.
Yeah. Then I remembered the bird. It took a while, but a door opened, and when the bird left, when it flew free, I knew it was singing. So the boy thinks he will be in the airport forever, but then he remembers the bird. And how does that make him feel? How does that make him feel? What? Yeah, you think maybe he thinks he's going to get out too? Yeah. Luke?
He feels joyful and happy.
Joyful and happy. Tanner? Alright, one more, Jack.
He realizes that it takes a while, but he can get out because just like whenever he remembers the bird.
Yeah. So, at this time, I want you to get your reading journal logs out. And I want you, go ahead and make sure you put your heading on there. Your next blank page, put the heading. And then you are going to write about the author's purpose, using details from the story to support your answer. Okay? So, what you think the author's purpose was, and use details from the story.